Hello, and welcome to another scene in Darkness in Dublin. Today we have kind of a random scene. The last we saw some of our brave adventurers, they were on their way to speak with the Baroness due to some, well, trouble that they had caused. Ish. Kind of. Blame could go around to a lot of people. So, if that is what the group still wishes to do, then that is fine. But because I know we have some new people, we're gonna make this a bit interesting. You all suddenly appear, every single one of you guys, in a back alley. You, Brett, do arrive with your motorcycle. You still have your flare gun, Azalea, and, well, Ringa, you feel a little movement in your pocket.
Oh, and Ringa is totally drinking a chai latte. Like, you don't know where she got it, but she's drinking a chai latte.
Yes, it's in her hands. It's not to say this back alley isn't clean. It is. You don't arrive in any pools of dirt or garbage. You're just sort of there. Y'all were all on your way to go speak with the Baroness, except for the new person who two of you have never seen before, and that one new person has never seen the other two before. It's quite disconcerting. Do as you will.
I guess I'll go ahead and give you guys a good description of Ringa. What she looks like in the dreaming is she kind of wears, like, basically what you see here. She's not, like, particularly attractive, but she's pretty average. She keeps herself bundled up as she's sipping on her chai latte, kind of wide eyes looking around, because she did just end up in an alleyway for no apparent reason. In the dreaming, she is like covered in hair. Like, she has a lot bigger eyes, and she kind of waddles around on two big feet.
All right, so I don't think, Steven, you've never seen Blythe before. Looks like a normal brown hair. Actually, let me show you what she looks like, her human form. Very shy, very cute. She's wearing black riding leathers and a black motorcycle helmet. Her in the dreaming. Oh, this is the bike. This is the motorcycle in the mundane world. In the dreaming, she looks like this, except that she's wearing a black and silver riding dress with the divided skirts, and she is carrying her own head with the white hair, but her eyes aren't yellow, they're glowing with a deathly light, and there's coldness around her. But she also has a friendly face and calming presence, and, you know, very, very cute looking, like the cutest Dolahan you've ever seen in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she is surrounded by black fog, miasma, mist, whatever you want to call it. And she, in both her mortal form and her fey mean, she has a smoky crystal choker around her neck. And she looks around very confused, pulls out her phone, taps on it. In a synthesized voice, you hear, "This isn't right."
You're telling me. Definitely not the way I expected today to go.
More tapping, and then synthesized voice. "Considering what we just left, did you expect something better?"
Mm.
Ringa
enough.
is sipping her chai latte, just kind of looking at these people. She looks kind of uneasy, but like she seems like a very sweet person, calming presence, and kind of just she seems innocent.
And you, young one, who are you?
Me? Well, I go by Ringa. Ringa Willowwood.
Baroness Azalea Bloodwater, and she takes her hat off and does a little flourish and bow and puts her hat back on.
You see typing, or Blythe just types on her phone. And then you hear, and this actually she swipes something and then taps something, and you hear, "I am Blythe, the Rider of the Mist. Don't be afraid. I'm not here for you." It looks like it's something that she's pre-recorded. And then she just gives this little hand wave with the hand that's holding her phone because she can't wave with the other hand.
Ringa will nod and do you think Ringa would be able to figure out anything about the Doulahan or
That's your call, Kim.
You don't know too much. You know just about the basics. They're the writers. And they tend to come and call people's names before they die or when they die.
Okay. She'll blink and nod. Well, I'm glad you're not here for me then, she'll say, with a sheepish smile.
The face that is being held gives this kind of a moe smile and does the whole look with the closed eyes, the smile, and the tilt to the side.
She kind of covers her face and chuckles a little.
More tapping and then pushing the button. We should probably try to figure out where we are. Not many things can take me off my route.
She's gonna walk out to the street. Ringo will notice that she's walking and there's a definitive limp, and as you look down, there's a peg leg.
Okay.
Blythe is going to walk, and you'll notice that her motorcycle/horse is following her.
When Ringo walks, she kind of follows behind them, but she's like waddling on either foot, like kind of moving sideways. Like waddle, waddle, waddle like a penguin.
Well, since you can't ever get lost, Azalea, you know kind of where you are to a point.
And how far from my ship am I?
You're about an hour away from the ship and the city. You're currently in a small little field. There's a stream running beside you guys. You don't really know why there's an alley way out here in the middle of nowhere. It's a little weird. And in fact, when everyone leaves the alley, you turn back and it's disappeared, leaving you in the middle of a large grassy plain with the small little stream.
Trod.
Ringo will reach in her pocket, feeling what's vibrating.
Oh, it's Dormouse.
Oh, okay. She'll give him a little pat on the head.
He's gonna swat your hand away.
I can call for a ride if you want. I doubt the three of us could fit on your horse.
Oh,
More tapping, and then yes, unfortunately, Clarity is not very good with other people. I apologize.
no, oh, it's no problem. You don't have to apologize. And much obliged for offering.
She's actually going to think to Clarity. Do you know where we are?
We're quite some ways away from where we were previously. I wonder what happened.
Thinking back to Clarity, as do I. Am I feeling the call?
No.
Hey, Door, do you know why we're here?
There's angry little ranting, kind of muffled, and then she'll crawl up out of your pocket, probably in a scarf beside your ear, and just kind of shout in her high-pitched, mousy little voice. Well, why are you asking me? I was in your pocket the whole time.
She shrugs. Well, I don't know. You're used to this kind of thing.
Well, am I now, and why am I used to it?
She'll just kind of look at Dormouse, who's like yelling at her, and she'll say, "I don't know. You came from that weird world."
And you came from that world. Why don't you tell us where we are, huh?
Well, I suppose we're in a field.
Congratulations.
She nods. She looks over at everybody sheepishly.
And then Dormouse will dive under the scarf.
Blythe is going to mount up onto Clarity and is going to attempt to track. So let me pull up the Discord.
What are you tracking?
I'm going to look for a sign of a road. Like anywhere that there could be a road nearby that would be easy for me to get to.
Okay.
So
I'm just gonna pull out my
perception,
cell phone.
survival.
Your cell phone doesn't work, unfortunately. It's out of signal.
So since I'm mounted, I cannot botch, and I have a -1 difficulty. So 5. Holy no! What the? You're kidding me.
Dude, the dice do not like you. Holy fuck.
Oh my god.
The hell? What the hell?
Hey, but you didn't botch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wasn't a botch.
I can't botch anyway. So, but oh my god, it's like no. All right. Anyway, so Blythe is gonna look. Blythe is going to hold up her head with both hands and look around, and then put it back into the crook of her arm with her hand underneath and say, "What will pull out her phone's gonna make some more tapping and say, "Yep, I'm lost."
Periscope.
Azalea's going to trust her issue-ness to know where to go, so she's always in the right place at the right time. And walk it. Can she tell which direction from town they are?
Mm-hmm. They're east. If you feel like if you follow this little stream that it'll lead you there.
You're gonna start following the stream.
Can I roll like perception alertness to see if anybody's watching us? Because they all ended up getting there somehow, and
Yes, you can.
okay. And I'm going to burn a point of willpower. 3 successes with the willpower.
Okay.
At least the dice are working for somebody. Jeez.
So you're looking around, and you're looking around, and you're looking around, and you finally turn to look at the river, or the little stream following beside you, and you notice there's something watching you from below the river, just
Oh.
underneath the water.
Oh, can I roll Testament to see if I can roll to see if I can make an intelligence grammar roll to see if I can find any secrets relevant to the situation?
Yeah,
It's diff 8. Wish me luck.
and it's once per scene.
Yeah, blue.
I think I have 3 grammar.
Do I have work tomorrow?
Okay, it's
Fuck.
diff 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes.
Fuck.
Motherfucker. Way to own it in the face.
Brett mad as hell. Okay. Yeah, so fuck. Okay. So were you doing it on the place or the creature below the water?
The creature below the water.
Secrets. Oh, okay. It's not really well, it's a secret to the rest of you guys, but you know that she doesn't really know why the hell you guys are here. And she is rather upset. But any secrets relevant to the current situation? The river hag was not the one to bring you guys there. She has no idea why you guys are there.
Ringa will shout to the river hag and be like, "We mean you no harm. We just ended up over here. Somebody took us to your lake. We're sorry."
That's definitely going to get Blythe looking over that direction.
Turn. It's a river, not a lake.
Oh,
I get your sentiment, though.
backwards thing. She has to speak the truth, so she said river.
The river hag, she doesn't move. She continues to just slowly bob beneath the water, never emerging from the top. Then she'll dive underneath, and you lose sight of her in the dark brackish water, before she emerges onto the bank. She doesn't fully go, but she is much closer to you guys now, and her head is popped out. It ain't pretty. Let's just put it that way. At least there's not really a stench.
Yet.
Yeah. They look pretty bad, though. Everything about them is soggy. They're really, really thin, but what thin flesh they do is bloated from the water they spend all their time in. So their skin is a sickly, sickly blue. As almost as if they're permanently and constantly being frozen. Their face is sunken in, and their teeth are just black, icky things. She still does not say anything, though. It just continues to look at you.
What fee must we pay for the unintentional trespassing? O fair maiden of the river.
She narrows her eyes at Azalea, clearly, and in very blank terms, sus as fuck. At that, then looks down at herself, and then back up, and says, "Why are you here?"
That is an excellent question, and one we're hoping to figure out.
Ringa
The
will
road
step
back.
forward and she'll say, "Excuse me, if you don't know, I'm a Korid and I must speak the truth. So, we have no idea why we're here. Something caused us to be here. And we meant you no harm." And she'll like offer her chai latte. She's like looking at her chai latte like a single tear runs down her face.
They lift a spinely finger out of the water and gestures for you to come closer.
How is Clarity reacting to this thing?
Your horse is not happy. This thing is nasty.
I'm just going to be lightly stroking Clarity's mane so that she calms down.
Ringo will take a few steps closer, knowing that this is dangerous, knowing it's a river hag, but she's being considerate. But yeah, she hands out the chai latte. She's obviously nervous, and she is within like. She has her arms outstretched where the river hag can grab the chai latte.
She motions you closer.
She looks at you and she's like, "But I don't really care for the water."
Okay, so are you standing, like, how far away from the bank are you? Because I know you said you're extending your hands over.
She's not too far away from the bank, actually.
The river hag will reach out and take the chai latte. Then they will have a sip, proceed to spit it out in the water, and hand the latte back out to you, but she doesn't extend her hand like too far away. It's more like a, kind of like a I don't really want to reach kind of thing.
She takes a few steps closer and grabs for the chai latte. This is going straight for a horror movie, Kim.
You're welcome. Yeah, but though, when you reach to take the chai latte, her other hand shoots out of the water
grabs me.
And grabs your wrist. It is wet and slimy and 50 shades of really, really disgusting. She's not tugging you in, but her grip is very, very strong.
She'll give her a sympathetic look and say, I really mean you no harm.
Does it look like she's about to abscond with the cord?
Okay, I'm really tired. What do you mean by scum? But with the court.
Abscond means that, because I'm
Take
guessing that
steal.
Ringo's a cord, right?
Yes.
Abscond means yank and run away with.
Maybe.
Okay.
So far, her face is really, really blank. Like she's trying to figure out what to do, but you know, it's this creepy, really disgusting creature in the river. So there's only so many things that can happen. But
She's such a soft heart and wants to be nice.
the river hag, to your previous statement, just kind of says, and then why don't you come take a swim with me? And pulls you in.
Oh, dang it.
Okay.
Off
So-
her jacket. Takes her boot to the side.
Blythe is holding out one hand and she's forming a lance from the mist, and is riding over to where the girl went in.
Okay.
Oh god, Dora's gonna be so pissed at her. Fuck.
Yeah, it's not gonna be pretty.
Does she look to be struggling under the water?
I'll leave that up to Steven's character. Steven, your character is pulled underwater. It is freezing. It is dark, and the grip has not loosened on your arm, and it's still bringing you down and down. You didn't realize how deep this little river was in the first place, but you keep going down. Slowly, of course, because the river hag's got, you and herself to bring. So it's a slow thing. Plus, you got a lot of clothes on. But she doing her best. She trying. Little engine that could.
Okay. Ringa is going to... Okay, this is gonna be a dangerous thing. But I hope you'll give me a good minus on this. She's going to let all the air out of her, lungs as a bunk.
Okay.
And I'm rolling Primal 4 on herself.
Okay.
Damn it!
What?
I don't have enough fat to yank you out of the water.
Okay. You think it would be, since I am letting out all of the air from her lungs?
That's kind of like a life or death situation, and you just released stuff that was gonna kind of low-key help you. So I'm gonna give that a -3.
Okay, and what was the diff initially for it?
Isn't it just like 8 straight for unleashing?
Unleashing
Not
diff 7.
unleashing.
Bunks.
Diff. Oh, it's diff 7.
Yeah. And I don't think bunks are really needed for unleashing, you just kind of do them.
Well, I'm not unleashing.
Oh. Huh? Mm.
Yes, Primal 4. You weren't paying attention to that?
Look. I've looked through a lot of sheets.
Okay. 4.
Yeah.
So it'll be diff 4. And it is 4 and 3. Oh, okay. So there's 3 successes for Eldritch form water. Basically, she can breathe underwater, and I think, let me check. There's one that she can breathe underwater. Yeah, they can exist underwater without the need for air.
Dahlia puts back on her boot. Saving a nobody isn't something she can do.
So, am I going to start? Do I need to start stabbing, or is she going to be okay?
Yeah, no, you see Ringa suddenly become, like, you can kind of see it happen because the water, Ringa used to be kind of like a force pushing against the water, but after a moment, it's like she becomes, the water kind of doesn't exactly merge with her. You
Oh
can tell
god.
she suddenly became a lot more fluid in the water, and there's less resistance.
But the mouse can't. I didn't use the cantrip on the mouse.
Yeah, no, your mouse is still struggling under there. You can feel them pushing against the scarf. Meanwhile, because you also do become slick and slippery, the river hag's grip is kind of loosening up on you.
Okay. Ringo will swim up, trying like yanking away. Should I?
That's a grapple. I'm gonna need your strength, please.
Okay. So roll two for her strength.
Yes.
And what diff would you say it is? Because she's
Just
very
one.
slick.
Oh. Oh, let's put it as a -2 because I think that there's a Nosferatu merit where they just become slick and slimy, and it's like a -1 or a -2 diff. So
Okay, so diff 4.
yeah.
2 successes.
Dang, they also got 2 successes and Defender wins. I think in this case it's them defending, but either way.
Well, are they really defending? Because they're kind of pulling her under.
It's not like you can't breathe, but it's okay. So you just barely manage to slip your hand out of her grasp. And from under the water, you guys can see it bubbling up. Y'all saw a lot of air bubbles, by the way, earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all can hear it from under the water, but there is this ear-piercing screech of anger.
All right. I'm going to dismount from the horse, and I'm going to put my lance into the water to try to scoop Ringa out of it.
Which Ringo will grab onto if it's down there.
It's gonna feel cold. It feels like the chill of a moor. And I'm gonna yank her out. So
Dahlia puts her jacket back on.
Okay. So it's not gonna be. So what's gonna happen with this roll? Ringa, you're gonna roll. Let's call it strength. I don't know. Possibly athletics to grab onto it and hold. Though athletics is for something completely different. But let's just roll with it.
So strength athletics.
Yes. If that works, Brett, you can roll a strength athletics to then proceed to pull her out.
Strength athletics or strength melee, since I'm using my lance.
Yeah, melee can work.
I'm burning a point of willpower because she has no athletics.
Okay.
2 successes. No, 3 successes with the willpower.
Willpower. Okay, you got a pretty good grip on the lands.
Alright, I'm spending willpower, and you said I could use melee, or am I still using athletics?
Yeah, you can use melee.
So that's 6 dice.
I am hoping for the best because you haven't been getting good rolls.
I'm spending a,
Definitely stabbed you in the face.
I'm spending a willpower on this.
I love how you just kind of like called Brett out on that shit.
Oh my god. 2 successes.
Yeah. Was I lying?
That was a shitty roll. I'll happily admit that. But at least I got a success on it.
Yeah, you
And
got 2 successes. I would have cried if you botched.
I would too, because that meant I would have
I would
just
have laughed because you would have stabbed her in the face.
either that or I would have knocked Ringa unconscious and she would have sank to the bottom of the river.
Well, like, luckily Ringa can breathe underwater, but
But if you unconscious and that spell runs out, because you only got like what 3 successes on that?
yeah.
So it only actually it lasts for a decent bit, but the river hag would have eaten you by then. So let's be real. Yeah, you just barely managed to pull her away. You can feel, because I was actually not entirely planning this, but you can feel, because I didn't think you'd get close. You can feel the river hag grabbing at your ankles, but you just keep kicking and kicking and kicking, and eventually, with the help, you're pulled out of the water into a slopping mess because you said she was bundled up, right? Well, now it's just freezing cold water surrounding you and soaking you to the bone. You don't exactly feel it because you're enchanted with water, but it's still cold.
I'm going to sit down Ringa on the other side of Clarity and basically mental command to Clarity. If something happens, pick her up with your mouth and run away with her. And I'm going to then shift the weapon in my hands from being a lance to being a scythe, and I'm going to adopt a defensive posture.
Straightens her hat, dusts off her jacket.
The river hag hasn't gotten above the water because they kind of saw that lance too, and they're just kind of like, I kind of choose life. But they are furious under this water, and they are screeching and swimming back and forth as a little blur in angry little circles. And
Ringa pulls out Dormouse from her clothes.
they're kind of unconscious. You might need to do some low-key CPR.
I think she has medicine 1, so CPR on the little mouse.
Yeah.
I do have Animal Ken 2 and Medicine 2 if it helps. Just let me know.
You help her!
It is a chimera, though. I will tell you guys that.
Yeah, that's true.
But you can go ahead and roll medicine on it.
Just pour some tea on it. Or rum.
Let's see. So, perception medicine?
Yeah, perk medicine to see what's up. As you're doing that, you feel a little pebble hit you on the back of the head.
Wait, no, I don't.
Wait, yeah, that's right. You feel it? No, actually, yeah. They throw it somehow at your head.
The head you're holding.
I'm going to shift the position of the head I'm holding, but still keeping it so I can see the river. And I still have the lance. I still have the scythe in a backhanded hold, ready to just like start scything if anything decides to come out at me.
Okay. Okay, let me describe that because what I have in my mind is kind of funny. So you've got. So you're. Okay, is your back facing the water?
Basically, the way that it is unless she's bringing the dormouse over to me. By the way, I got one success on that.
Okay.
I'm going to walk over to where the dormouse is, set my head up onto the horse, set my scythe down on the ground, and I'm going to inspect the dormouse. But if the dormouse is coming over to me, I'm doing all this with my head watching the dormouse, my body positioned towards the river with the scythe held in a reverse hand fashion, about ready to like go like this.
Okay.
If anything comes out of the water.
Gotcha. Well, then that's up to Steven. What's going on?
Take care of Dormouse!
Are you bringing it to them, though?
Yeah, I'm bringing it to her.
Okay. So one success.
Okay, with one success, yeah, they just kind of drowned. You can, they're not breathing, but you can kind of see that their stomach, their very tiny little stomach, is swollen with what you can only assume to be water, as they were struggling to get out of the scarf underwater.
Okay. I am going to. This is going to hurt. I'm basically going to take the hand that's holding the scythe, and I'm going to wrap the fingers through my hair, and I'm going to hold my head and my scythe at the same time with the same hand. And then with my other hand, I'm going to mouse Heimlich the water out of the mouse's stomach and lungs.
Okay. It's gonna be at a +1 difficulty because pebbles just keep being thrown at you from the river, and it's kind of breaking your concentration.
Alright.
But you can do Dex medicine to try to force the water out of their lungs.
Does my spec and swift apply? Guessing not.
I
I'm
don't know.
spending a willpower, by the way, because it
You're
seems like I have to all the time now.
kind. I really don't know.
Kinda. Watch, she's gonna have a.
That's 2 successes, 3 with the willpower.
You actually got a good roll!
Yeah, I know. But there's still a 1 in there, though.
Three successes on the Heimlich for Dormouse.
In the meantime, the mouth of my Dullahan is wide open because I'm being yanked by my own hair by my own hand.
Yeah, no, this should not feel good because your head weighs about a pound or so. Most heads, anyway, and it's just kind of like, so you're holding a pound by just hair, and it's just kind of like, yeah, it doesn't feel right. And then rocks are just still being thrown at you.
Man, like, this river hack's got some pretty dang good accuracy for, like, being in the water.
Oh yeah, no, they're hitting all over the place. Actually, everyone's just kind of getting pelted with rocks, but they're really tiny. They don't really hurt, they're just annoying. Because this river hag is a child, let's be honest here. It's not actually a child, but it's childish, I should say. Yeah, you managed to resuscitate the mouse back to life. A few drops of really disgusting water spew out of its mouth as it then begins to breathe again.
Okay, once that's done, I'm taking my head back into the right hand, and there's just a look of relief on this poor little Dilan's face.
Ringa will kind of look at everybody and then she's like, I'm sorry, I'm too nice for my own good. Oh.
I'm gonna be heading back to town now. Have fun with the hag. Better luck at having a snack next time, old Betty.
I'm going to get back on clarity and start trotting alongside them. I'm not going to move any faster than they are. However, the scythe is not going away. I'm just not putting on the armor yet.
Bigger pebbles begin to be thrown at you guys. You can kind of tell they're having a hard time aiming. It's really difficult to get a pebble from, water to air. And using that extra force does cause them to be a little wonky, but they're slightly bigger now. But most of them really don't hit you. It's just raining rocks. Some of them are really pretty and smooth. Everyone roll perk alert now.
Okay.
But I was going to sing sea chanties to pass the time.
I mean, you
Two
can.
successes! 2 successes with 4 dice.
No successes. I'm singing sea chanties. Distracted by myself.
1 success. I didn't
I have-
spend a willpower starting to run out.
I got the most amount of successes and like one of the lowest dice pools.
With 1 success, Brett, you kind of see something. You can't really tell what it looks like, but it's really far off in the distance. With 2 successes, that might be a person. It's really far off, though.
Ooh, there's a
Someday.
person over there.
Hire its life for
I'm going
Person.
to. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
a person where?
She points at the shining light.
Maybe? Are they
She
along the
kinda-
river path that she's taken?
Hmm?
Is said person along this river path we're taking?
No. The person seems to be way off in a grove of trees, which is why you had such a hard time seeing him. He's not exactly blending in, but he's in kind of like the shadow of a grove of trees.
Are we
Okay, I'm going
doing
to banish
curiosity
the
is wits or willpower?
willpower. If
yeah.
it's a flaw, it's typically willpower diff 7.
Mhm.
I'm going to return the scythe to smoke and let it go back to flowing around me.
Do any of you guys happen to have tea? I would really like that while we go investigate this guy.
Tapping on the phone, and then you hear, all I have is hot chocolate.
She like snaps her fingers in disappointment.
Azalea pulls out a little flask, takes a swig, puts it back.
I need to find like
And she
some
starts
sort
walking towards this person.
of.
I'm
Same for Ringa.
I'm going to follow.
Ringa's like holding up Dormouse. Hopefully, like Dormouse is awake.
So they're just kind of groaning. So did you? Okay. I was reading something because Salt Chatterman is going haywire.
Yeah, I know.
So are you guys heading down the river, or are you gonna go see Dude Bro?
We're going to
I'm gonna
see
go see
Dubro.
Dubro.
Two people with curiosity, of course we're going that way.
And of course, the Duhan feels obligated to protect people, so she doesn't have to scream their name.
Azalea's hoping that they know a faster way back to town.
Okay. It does take you guys a little bit to get there, but y'all make it. As you get closer, you can see that it's a man, and a very gorgeous one at that. He's actually kind of androgynous, but still has those more masculine features. But you think that if he tried hard enough, he could easily pass as a woman. His hair is long and as silver as moonlight. As are his eyes, by the way, just opalescent and wide. He's wearing silver robes, just a shade darker than his hair. And he's sitting on one of the trees. Well, he's not sitting in one of the trees. He's sitting down below one of the trees, leaning against it, as he reads. As he hears you come closer, he looks over. Doesn't really smile, and you can tell there's a circlet, also of silver, on his head. From what you guys can tell, he's a she. It's kind of odd, given he's way the fuck out here. Kind of reading instead of, doing any crazy political stuff. There's also a horse that is drinking from a small pond in this grove. And the horse itself, it's solid black, but instead of fur, it has scales.
Huh.
Is that a Thestra?
Red, I just
Eyes
thought it was
narrow
cool.
slightly.
They will close their book and stand up and say, "Oh, I was not expecting guests. How may I help you this fine evening?"
My danger
I
sense
wanted to
going
make a
off.
trade.
Okay, Brett, your danger sense is not going off.
Is the call going off?
No.
Okay.
You
Have to
bougie.
cover the bases.
I got you. Natalie, before I answer you real quick, I will say it was sunny where you guys are. Where you are now, it's bathed in perpetual moonlight.
Wow, this area seems magical.
Really?
Ringa says, spinning around.
The Dolahan gives Ringa the "you don't say" look that Nicolas Cage has.
The man will look over to Azalea and say, "Oh, and what might this trade be?"
For your horse.
His voice also has a very, almost like bells, like ringing bells, kind of tinkly, sound.
Ringa will smile politely and she's like, "Well, I'm kind of interested in the book you were reading."
Ah.
See, a more perfect match couldn't have been made. I'll give you her for the horse.
Tapping on phone, then you hear, "I don't think you're authorized to trade the girl for the horse."
Of course I am. I'm a baroness. She's not.
finally got the description down on his voice because I'm really tired. I'm like, what is it? It's not bells. It's very sweet and musical. There we go. Not bells. It took me a moment to remember that that's also a way I could describe it. And he'll kind of look between you, Azalea, and then Ringa, and he'll walk forward, almost glide with how graceful he is, and he'll place a hand gently cupping Ringa's chin and then moving it upwards because he's rather he's not too tall, but he is taller than the little Korid. And he'll just say, "Why do you not defend yourself when she is trading you to a stranger for something of her own good?"
I don't know. I guess because I'm not worth that much. She says, smiling sheepishly.
Oh. Well, that is not good. Not good at all. You're freezing. He then will look over to Azalea and say, "You cannot have my horse, but he will bring you where you need to go before returning to me."
That'll work. Thank you kindly.
The deal is done. She is mine.
Zoe goes and gets on the horse.
Just like to point out here, for posterity's sake, y'all were saying the Baylord Duke was bad.
Damn it! Why are
Um,
you such a sweetheart?
oh no, I'm not saying this because of the dude. I'm saying you were literally just traded for a horse.
Yeah.
So he will gently take your hand, Ringa, and lead you over to a small cave. It's very hidden. Inside of this cave, there is this fire. And another robe, except instead of silver, this one is black. Still very elegant. The embroidery is different shades of black, and it is, well, just beautiful, expertly crafted. And he says, "Warm yourself up. I will be coming to speak to you later."
She'll nod. And she'll turn off Eldritch Form water. She's probably freezing now and like curls up by the fire.
Yeah, you are just is bad. I will tell you, you're a Korid. You've probably watched survival shows. Having the water drenched clothes still on your body is not really helping.
Which she's taking them off one by one.
Okay, and he is left. By the way, you were in complete private. So as you're warming up, we will switch back to the other two as random dude who still has not given you guys a name walks out again. And he looks between the two of you. Unless Azalea has just ridden off, has she?
Oh, how would she have? She probably would have.
Okay. What about Blythe?
Blythe would just be still standing there, like moving her arm that's holding her head back and forth towards the guy, towards. Basically, it's like she's paralyzed. She can't figure out what's going on, so she can't move. She just dumbfounded expression on that face, moving that head back and forth, like what the. No, this doesn't. Impatience starting to kick in.
Believe
Like-
EXE has stopped. Or Blythe EXE has stopped working.
Pretty much, yeah. Blue screen.
It's like, did she just get traded? Like, is she like his slave now? What?
It's so bad. Oh my god. Oh,
Pretty much. It's just like I don't get this how they normally. I don't remember them working like I don't. Ah, I want my hot chocolate, but there's no place to set my head down.
so he looks at you and smiles sweetly. Everything about this man seems very kind. He'll just say, "Are you in need of anything? Refreshments, perhaps?"
That head will just shake, and then tapping on the phone, and then the voice of, I don't know what happened to the girl. I don't know what happened to my friend. I don't know what's going on. I don't really deal with other changelings that much. This is just, and then, like literally, she just put in a bunch of times, and then it stops.
Would you like a moment to sit and wrap your head around these things?
Tap 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 tap. Hit play. I really need to get back on the road because I can't do my job if I'm out here.
And what is your job?
Tap 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 tap. Tap. Wait, no. Swipe, swipe, tap. I'm the rider of the mist. I go to those in need and allow them to have the sweet release of death.
Hmm. If you ever are in need of a job, you know where to find me.
Tap 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 tap. Hit play. I'm a travel writer in my mundane life, but it's not really a job for me to be a Dullahan. It's a calling.
Of course.
I'm called to those in need, and I allow them release.
Of course.
Tap 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 tap. Can you promise me that the little one will be safe?
He ponders that for a bit. And he'll say, "Do you really care about her?"
Tap 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 tap. I care about the lives of all because they are not meant to go before their time.
And if you cared for her, why did you not speak out when she was given like a slave?
Tap 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 tap. As I said, I didn't understand the process. I am new to this sort of thing. I primarily ride the roads and don't stay too long in one freehold or another.
I see. Well, I will not take up any more of your time. You have a precious job that you must be doing.
She will move her head to nod, and then she will remount, turn clarity towards where he had seen Azalea ride off to, and will then turn her head back and nod it to the gentleman and Once more, tap, 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 tap. When it is your time, you will see me again.
Let's hope that time is not for quite several moons.
Tap, 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 tap. I don't feel the call from you yet. I will, though. It comes for all.
And perhaps one day another of your kind will feel the call for you as well.
That will once more result in a nodding of the head from head. So at that point, she will turn and she will head off on Clarity, riding at full speed, since she doesn't have to wait for anybody.
Ringa is actually completely naked by now, huddling by the fire, completely covering herself. Very embarrassed.
The fire is very warm and you warm up quite quickly. He will politely stand outside with his back turned facing you. He's a gentleman. And he will say, if you feel the need, you can use the spare robe that I have.
Thank you, sir. And she goes and puts on the robe. I'm closed now.
Okay, we're gonna pause this right here. We're gonna go sit out of two. Azalea, that is the fastest fucking horse you have ever had the privilege of riding on.
Whew. Good steed.
Blythe, you don't know what it is, but Azalea's little figure keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller, no matter how fast you push your horse.
I'm not going to push her. I'm not going to push Clarity that badly. So if I can't catch up, I'm just going to go back to an leisurely pace and hope I can find my way out of wherever the hell this is.
Okay. You're still following the river, right?
Yeah.
You're getting pelted by pebbles again.
At this point, she's going to form the armor, and she's going to make it the most dread scale, spiked, death-dealing, Mordred-looking armor she's ever made her entire life. All the moe has gone out the window right now because she is severely frustrated and severely pissed off.
From the middle of the river, the head just kind of pops up and goes, seems someone's overcompensating.
She's going to lash her hand towards it and is going to form Mordred's sword. Like, all ugly looking betrayal type aimed towards her. It's the most disgusting thing she can think to make. And she's going to make a swiping motion like, I may not have my head may be carried right now, but I can perfectly take yours. And then she's going to banish the sword and keep riding.
The river hag will hiss and dive back under the water. A giant rock. I'm talking about the size of a... what would be the common...
A horse?
No, she doesn't have that much strength.
A rock the size of a fist.
Soccer ball. There we go. A rock the size of a soccer ball comes sailing out. It misses you guys. But it does just kind of whoo, and leaves a really nasty kind of indent in the mud. Or the dirt. Grass is gone.
It's just going to keep riding.
The river hag doesn't really bother you much. Every now and then there's another pebble, but eventually you kind of get out of her territory.
Okay.
Okay. So, Ringa, the man will walk back in after you're clothed, and he will you notice that he'll sit down beside you and kind of warm his hands up by the fire, and then from out of nowhere, a tiny little green thing, um, it's about the size of a small child, not like baby, but like a 1 or 2 year old. It walks, but it's just green. It looks like an adult, and that's about how tall they get. It's got long, pointed ears, and it's got a really mischievous face on. But without really being directed, it will take your clothes and kind of lay them out by the fire so they can start drying out. And then he just kind of waddles away again. Once that is done, the man will look over towards you, just kind of very politely smile and say, "And what is your name?"
Oh, my name is Ringa Willowwood, but it's nothing special to someone like you, she says, bowing.
He'll smile and say, "And the name of your associates?"
She kind of thinks, and she's like, I didn't even know their names.
I see.
You do know that Blythe did tell you her name, right?
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think
Azalea
Natalie.
told you her name with a flourish.
Oh, okay. It was Azalea and Blythe. Sorry. She always speaks the truth. That was my bad.
Steven, what have you gotten yourself into?
Evan just waiting. It's better keep listening.
Oh, Christ.
So, he will smile at you. And, oh, by the way, the robe, you didn't really think it would fit you as well as it does. But as soon as you put the robe on, it pretty much made itself to be tailored exactly to you.
Huh.
But he will stand up and hold on. Damn it, I have the first name for this dude, not a last name. Bitch titties. I've almost got it, guys. Give me like 2 seconds. I'm prepared, I swear.
Names are hard. I forgive you.
Thank you.
Duke Ivor Bitch Titties.
No, his last name is not gonna be bitch titties. Fuck you, that's my last name.
Kim, I will give you $10,000 in a check right now if you legally change your name to Bitch.
It's very tempting.
He doesn't have the
500
money. Don't give in.
Yeah. So, there we go. I have a last name. So he'll bow. It's not a very deep bow, but you can see it's very formal and flourish. And he'll say, "It's a pleasure to meet you and to be in your lovely company, Miss Willowwood. My name is Keldanoth Auris."
Keldanoth. It's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
How about I just call you Callie? Would you mind that?
His eye twitches ever so slightly.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to insult you.
Keldanoth is fine.
She'll nod.
Or Lord Elris.
Lord Alris. She'll nod. I think I'll call you Keldanoth then.
He smiles. Wonderful. Now, give me your hand.
She'll hand out her hand. She's kind of blushing because she doesn't really associate with people.
His grip is soft but firm. Like his skin is soft, but like it's firm. Like he could get stronger, but he's just kind of not like yanking your arm. He'll take it, flip it over to where, of course, where your veins are running and everything, and he'll move the sleeve of the robe up to where your arm is exposed, almost as if you're about to give blood or anything like that. And right below the crook of your elbow, on that flat surface where your veins are running and everything, he will trace his finger out in a silvery mark. There was no powder on his finger or anything, but as he's tracing it out, it leaves kind of like this silvery trail, almost like a tattoo, except it doesn't hurt. And he spells out, well, he doesn't really spells out, but he draws out a symbol of a manticore, oddly enough. Except it's one of those pretty manticores. It's not like freaking ugly or anything.
Okay.
The lion's body with the wings and the scorpion tail.
Yes, I knew.
Yes. But before he lifts and moves his finger away, he'll just very plainly say, "This will hurt." And moves his finger. Immediately, there is a burning sensation as the manticore is branded into your skin with a silvery, manticore design.
She'll probably start crying, but she's trying to hold it in.
He will let the robe sleeve drop. And the little green minion that he has will kind of come back out again, grumble to himself. You can't really make out the words. It's more just like he is literally just going rah, 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 rah. Hand you a tissue. You notice when he lifts his hands up, he also has the same mark as well in the crook of his elbow. And then he waddles away again.
Ringo will say, "Thank you, Mr. Might I know his name?"
He looks over towards you and just kind of makes that noise, and then gives you a really... You know what? No, I know exactly what this guy's name's going to be. He'll look over at you and say, "Name's Bob."
She smiles, giggling.
And he'll walk off again. Okay, pause here. Natalie,
Okay.
you've arrived back in Dublin.
Grand. Good. Glad. So glad. She will happily dismount and send the steed charging off back to where she came from.
Brett, about 15 minutes pass, and you see this horse running towards you.
Getting out of the way.
Yeah, it'll pass you by, but it's just kind of like, whoosh.
Azalea's not on it, right?
No, it is just the horse.
Just thinking to clarity. So she traded another living thinking creature for a horse that she didn't even get to keep.
Clarity will do that horse little snort, kind of, rear her head back.
Yeah.
As a yes, thank you, Evan. As kind of an affirmation of yeah, that is literally what happened. You should probably go tell somebody.
Let's go find the Baroness.
Can we be having romantic dinner, Kim?
No, that dinner is done.
Was it delicious?
Yes, your food was cooked by a boggin known as Mama or Mother or Lin Yao, as other people who don't want to call her Mom refer to her as. She was an excellent cook and very kind. And the Duke made it very known that if you did anything or said anything rude to her, she was fixing your dinner and bringing it in, that things would not be so nice. Even Ayala was kind to this sweet little boggin. But you didn't really see her much anyway. She just kind of walked in. You looked away. The food was, there, and then she just kind of walked out again in like a few seconds. Well, a little bit more than just a few seconds, but you get me. So, time flies by. Azalea, where are you going?
She's gonna call her crew and arrange to get picked up so they can deliver this body.
Yeah, you get picked up. I'm assuming you're going to the Baroness's?
Yep.
Okay. So, beautiful! We can have all of you guys, except for dear Ringa, at the Baroness's home. Freehold. Evan, if you want to join, this is where you can hop in as well. It's up to you. Dinner might have gone so well she invited you over again. Who knows?
I will not say no to this.
Or you just came to
I can be
rant.
rather charming. That's
Oh no,
fancy.
you weren't charming. Well, I mean, you were to a point, but Ayala was just kind of like denied at every point. But anyway. Oh. You don't know.
I'll be there. Evan just has to go to the bathroom, so...
Okay. Okay, so everyone somehow gets to Ayala's freehold. There is the little boggin sitting at the reception desk. She's happy. She's doing her work. And she
That
sees
is,
you.
she sees me, Kim.
Yeah. Then she sees this motley crew kind of walk in, and the boggin's face becomes a lot more steely, like, I was having such a good day. It was beautiful. And then
Oh, I forgot. I would have banished the armor when I got close to Dublin, so wearing the
Okay.
dress again.
That's fine. That's Gucci.
She's going to leave Clarity outside with the mental thought of, don't worry, I'm not going to let anybody take you.
To who again? Sorry.
To Clarity.
Okay. She just kind of neighs again. It's like, yes.
I'm going to head inside.
Okay. So, the Boggin sees you guys. Prays to whatever person the Boggin believes in. And asks them what did they do to be cursed. But then we'll just kind of say, hello. How may I help you today?
Have a delivery.
Tap, 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 tap. I helped with the delivery, but I do have a complaint.
And she will slowly turn to Ashrin and say, and you, sir? Okay, I think Evan's still AFK. So, okay, that's awesome. So, the Vogan will kind of nod and say, "Give me one moment. I'll go see what she's up to." And she hops down out of her chair and walks back to the Baroness's office.
I have a couple of my crew carrying the coffin for the woman.
Okay. A little bit later passes, and this woman, who you all know as Ayala, will walk in, very regal, of course, as she always is. She'll say,
I will make my head bow.
just kind of like tilt your head over.
Yeah.
She'll incline her head slightly as that I acknowledge you. And then she'll say, I believe that people needed to speak to me, and that a delivery was to be made.
Your inquiry into the disappearance of one, whatever you said her name was that I don't remember at the moment. Here lies the last remains of the poor woman.
Tap, 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 tap. Play. We got to her just in time to watch her die. Unfortunately, there was nothing I could do to save her, only to ease her to the next life.
I see. Unfortunate.
Pearl jumped off the roof after something. Don't know if he caught it.
Oh,
Yes.
I assure you, she's more than well aware of this fact.
I do know of the troll who jumped off the roof. As do most of the barons, and the Duke himself. She will look over to the Boggin and say, Mary, bring Miss Bloodwater's crew and show them where to place the coffin for now. She nods, looks over at the crew, says, oh, okay, if you guys don't mind following me, please. And she'll just kind of nod and start heading back further into the hallway.
Hey Kim, let's flash the Boggin a smile.
Fucker. Her face breaks out to kind of like, her eyes go wide. She's just kind of like, ah. And she just kind of whimpers a little bit before practically running off down this hallway.
So a gesture for the crew to follow her to deliver the body.
And the crew follows. I don't think my ankles are supposed to be making the noises they just made. That is not good. Oh well.
It was in fact a beastie.
She nods.
Tap, 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 tap. Play. It seemed like a child puka, very childish in manner, slit her throat because she wouldn't play with them, and then ran away when we confronted him.
And what happened to the beastie?
Shrug, shoulders. motions over to Ashrin with a shoulder because she can't motion with her head right now. Tap 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 tap. Play. I looked down, saw he had his friends had something, and then I felt the call for the boy. Got there as he was killed.
I see. Her eyes will flick over to Ashrin.
Ashrin is very calmly cleaning his nails with a knife.
Tap 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 tap. Play. The call of a Dullahan is never false.
I had just assumed you wanted the Scourge rid from your land when it gave me all the usable information it possessed.
Usable information for you. You probably did not ask all the questions that I needed answers to.
Very casually, he'll shrug. You might be surprised, Lady Baron. I was thorough.
Were you now? Then tell me, what did you learn?
I learned the name of his paymaster, the one who'd had him cause the trouble.
Who is?
Oh, crap, Kim, I can't remember his name. Howard? Howard?
Keldanoth.
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 Tap 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 tap. Play. Keldanas? What is he? Do we get a
Correct.
description?
No, his name was Keldanoth. He thought that he was like me, I believe.
Tap 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 tap. So, guy by the name of Keldanas, creepy she, and then all of a sudden, the eyes, those death-like eyes, go wide, and she looks over at Azalea.
Ayala will notice the sudden look of concern and fear that has crossed into the Dullahan's eyes.
This will be greeted by a very slightly perked eyebrow. Continue, Kim.
And Ayala will very, very simply ask, "Do explain."
Is this a name you're familiar with, perhaps, Lady Dullahan?
Tap 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 tap. Play. On our way back, Baroness Bloodwater and I got intercepted by some kind of magic. While exploring, we found a young fur-covered individual by the name of Ringa. This individual accompanied us after we had to save her from a water hag, and we found a black-looking she bathed in moonlight that Azalea traded Ringa to for the horse to get out of the area. Didn't even get to keep the horse. I was told I couldn't question it because she's a baroness, but I'm pretty sure Ringa wasn't her property. And then the recording will end.
So, betraying a Cathane to a force of banality. Continues picking his nails.
She are now forces of banality. I will keep that in mind.
Thalane,
So you're saying that she are Thalane?
he will physically draw his sword at that point.
Play. I think he's saying that wasn't a she.
And what proof do you have that this was not a she?
None. He bore all the marks of any she that I'd ever seen.
Was this... He'll kind of look at the Dullahan to click the replay button for the name. Like, whoop. The name of the small-haired one.
She'll search through the
Ringa.
files. Play. Ringa. Willowwood.
Was this Ringa sworn to you? Have you pledged you their oaths?
Me?
Yeah.
No, the only people sworn to me are my crew.
So you traded someone not under your banner.
She went willingly. No contesting.
Play. She's right about that, but it did not seem like she felt she had a choice. She kept talking about how she was a lesser thing.
My.
Tap. Play. I do not save lesser things from death.
Besides, he had a fire and she was drenched. He needed the warmth.
So, you traded her for a ride back into town.
Whatever happened
Thus
to
far,
calling a
yes.
taxi in this day and age?
Where we were, there was no cell reception.
So you walk until you find cell reception.
Who is the name of your superior?
Duchess Phaedrus Rian.
And without another word, Ayala turns around and heads back into her study.
Which point...
No.
Oh, sorry, continue. No.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have further business to conduct.
Be sure not to go too far. We will speak at a later time.
Tap. Play. Do you need me to stay? I feel the need to be back on the roads.
Ashran will look at you as he stands up, and he will. If Ayala's going to say anything, he will not necessarily cut across her, but he will speak, and he will say, "No, Dulahan, I need you to take me to where this happened, as we must enact the right of rescue."
Tap. Very well. I hope you have something fast.
He'll say, "We can arrange something, I'm sure."
Visit Duke Octavius. Him and the other knockers are always concocting something. They might have a way.
We have a car. We'll be capable of following in that, I have no doubt.
We weren't on roads until later, so... Oh, sorry. Tap. Play. We weren't on roads until much later, so you may have to ride with me.
He'll very calmly shrug. He doesn't mind sitting in the bitch seat necessarily. Haha. Kim, make your jokes now while you can.
I know, he's trying to get with Ayala. He's gonna be riding in that bitch seat. Sorry. Okay.
Alright, so...
Mistress Ayala, may I ask a boon of you?
What is it?
I'm very happy to increase the speed at which we travel. However, do you have a means of veiling us from the mortal senses?
Let me go look at her sheet. Oh. Roni. One moment. She will head back into her study. After a moment, the Boggin will join her in the study. And then, after a moment, Ayala will leave. Excuse me. Actually, the Boggin will leave out of the study carrying a little, it looks like a sticker. And she will very, very, so very timidly like barely even touching the corner of the sticker, will just kind of slowly hand it out to you, extending only as far as she needs to go. Like, she is as far away from you as she possibly can without, like, where you can still grab the sticker.
He will reach down and take the sticker, but as he does, he'll grab her hand and bring it in and kiss her on the hand. Just to fuck with her.
There is a little squeak of fear.
He will rise and he will smile as he says, "Very well, Lady Doulahan. Let us be about our business."
She'll nod and she'll once more bow her head to Alea. Alan.
She's left the room.
Oh, well.
Coincidentally, where did you have... What direction did you travel?
I'll show you. We're heading out east. And
Oh.
she's going to head out and she's going to mount up onto Clarity. And basically, with mount speed to Clarity, try not to make him too cold. He's apparently somebody important.
She just snorts.
He'll come out and wrap a cloak around himself anyway. He'll turn to the ogre and his other attendant and he'll say, "Go back to the ducal palace. In the event I don't return by morning, send word to my father."
Okay, boss.
I wasn't talking to you.
Okay, boss.
Can I just point out to Kip, I love how this character is basically a Saturday morning cartoon villain, complete with incompetent sidekicks.
Hey, the gas is very competent. The ogre.
Okay.
Doesn't he remind you of one of the ogres from Gummy Bears? Okie dokie dookie?
Okie dokie dokie. Yes. Oh my god. That's amazing. I hadn't made that comparison yet. Oh. Someday I'm going to play a character named Ickthorn, because I think that sounds like a fucking changeling name.
The Ghast will give some side eye to the ogre, because you notice Ghast does not like this ogre.
That's fair.
But she will say, "Yes, my prince, I will deliver news to your father in case you do not return."
He'll nod. At the point, he'll kind of do the whole kind of throw his cloak over the back of the motorcycle and sit in the bitch chair. He will probably have to wrap his hands around your waist because otherwise you fall off the motorcycle.
Yeah. So basically, as you're wrapping your arms, you feel cold just being on that horse. And as you wrap your arms around the Dullahan, you feel like your hand brush against the back of her head, which is going to be a very unsettling feeling for you. I apologize, but yeah.
I have no doubt it is.
I will just add this one little quick thing. As you were leaving, the Boggin, who, had kind of barricaded herself behind the receptionist desk at this point, just kind of whispers out, "Baroness Ayalis said you'd have to put the sticker on the mode of transportation."
Wonderful. He'll slap the sticker on the back of the hog.
So you just slapped the hind of the horse.
Yes.
It's gonna be a mental thing of easy.
Yeah, no, she was getting ready to buck.
Yeah, I know she was.
By the way, do I see it as a horse or do I see it as a motorcycle?
Both.
Excellent.
Because in the Fey realm, it's a horse. In the mortal realm, it's a motorcycle. So.
Okay. Hey Kim.
What?
Hey Kim.
What do you want?
Do you mind rolling me 7 dice? Do you mind rolling me 4 dice, diff 7?
What are you doing?
There may be an unleashing.
Oh my god. What are you doing?
Yay!
Yay! I'm unleashing to get to this coronet's side.
Okay, well, Azalea's been flying, so whenever she gets there, let me know. She's just gonna buy her back.
Okay, so we're gonna pause for everybody right there.
Alright.
I'll get your roll in a second.
Big time.
So, Ringa, how are you?
I'm good.
You having fun?
Totally. This is gonna be great.
Mhm.
Nothing can go wrong.
It makes you feel better. Keldanoth has been very nice.
I wonder how Dor is doing.
um, Dor has been hiding.
Of course he has.
So, Keldanoth will look towards you and say very sweetly, "Well, I don't believe you will be much use to me here. So, I will allow you to leave and go back to your home. But when I need your help, I will always be able to find you. Is that understood?"
She'll nod. And she'll say, "Is there a fast way you can take me home?"
My horse can when he returns. And right as he says that, you hear the clump, 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 clump of the horse returning. And then he'll say, "Your friends will no doubt have questions. I would ask that you do not tell them of me."
Okay, she just smiles. She's like, "Well, you seem like a nice person. You were a total gentleman to me, and you weren't the one who sold me away," she says, smiling.
He will smile at you so ever sweetly and will run the back of his hand against your cheek. He'll say, "I want you to remember that you are something. Do not let people tell you any differently. You are not this tiny, insignificant bug that you believe you are."
She smiles and she says, "Thank you." And she calls for Dora as she starts to head to the horse.
And one last thing, just to cover all of my bases, of course. Make sure your friend, he says, motioning to Dormouse with a hand, does not speak either.
She looks at Dormouse. Um, you don't want to say anything, do you? I mean,
She just kind of grumbles and rubs at her fur, which is up, all 50 different directions.
she'll kind of like push the hair down, like kind of brushing it back. And she'll hop on the horse.
He will look out from his cave and smile and say, "You will not be able to find this place again, but if you ever need me, you will know how, and I will be there. But use this well. I'm a busy man."
Understood. Thank you.
No problem. And, Ringa,
Yes? Goldenhoff?
do not betray me.
She nods. Why would I betray somebody so nice?
You never know. It might happen. And that is something I do not wish to happen.
Well, I don't want it to happen either then, she says, smiling.
Good. You may keep the robes, but do not let them see my mark.
She'll, like, rub her arm, and then she'll nod.
He'll incline his head slightly and head back inside of his cave. And then the horse will take you out of the grove and back into town instinctively. Because this was happening at the same time that everyone was speaking to the Baron, Azalea, after a little while, will see the horse and Ringa upon it starting to gallop away. Or gallop back into town, I should say.
She'll smile to herself and just follow them to make sure that she does get back.
Okay. Now, Evan, 4 dice, right?
Oh yeah.
1 success.
Aha! He maintains control of the unleashing.
Uh-huh.
What would he think? Does he care about the coronet? Let me think.
Let's be real, Evan. Your character does not care about this coin, and you might
Not
only
at all.
care about them because you did just use a boon that, is now
I
looked
did.
to Ayala. So, plus Ayala might look upon
The
it a
coronet-
tiny bit favorably.
The coronet, myself. This might be another scene, Kim, because I'm going to drop a gigantic metaphorical bomb on you.
Oh God.
The coronet, myself, the Doulahan, will be transport. He will say, the images will form in his mind, and he raises his hand. He says, "Bring us hence."
Ooh!
And his concept is, we are going. You know what? I've decided I'm taking control of this bullshit from now on. We are going to go to the castle of my father's nearest vassal lord.
Oh. Okay.
Well, I could take you to my father's course if you'd like. Kim really wants to play that NPC.
That's not true, man. I'm just saying. Woo.
You know what, Kim? Let's go big or go home. Let's bring them to the course of Counted Shadows, which I've decided is the name of the fucking capital.
Oh Lord.
If it helps, it's only about because Kim was amazed at how small Ireland is. It's only about an hour and a half, 2 hours north.
Okay. Tell me how you're getting Ringa.
Basically, because the unleashing is so vague, I can just wish her there, essentially. Essentially, she will be scooped off the horse and will be flung through a nightmare realm of shadows and black ichor until she's deposited at my feet as we stand in the throne room.
Okay, but are you using just her name? Because you don't know.
Beg your pardon?
How are you envisioning this? Are you using her name? Because you've never seen her before.
That's fair. I'm going to use her name and the fact that she had a connection to the Doulahan, even if it was just a meeting connection, basically because they have met one another and I'm in very close proximity to the Doulahan.
He gets a female Korid named Ringa. Wait, does he even know what a Korid is?
Because of how unleashing is written, it doesn't need a connection. It can just be you roll if you succeed, you control the narrative.
Yeah. So one thing.
Obviously, Kim is obviously the ultimate arbitrator, and if she says no, Evan, fuck off, I'll do something else.
I'm a little like with Natalie on this one.
See, this is the issue with unleashings as a mechanic. It just says you can do what you want.
Kinda.
I tell you what, because I'm going to be reasonable as a player, I'm going to withdraw that statement. What we will ask for is to basically be brought to the. Basically, he will kind of step up in the stirrups and he'll put his hands. Actually, no, because obviously, where do you keep your head when you're riding the bike?
When I'm riding the bike, my head's on my shoulders. When I'm riding the horse, my head is tucked underneath my left arm.
Okay, he'll put his head on the back of on your back of your head and use your memories of the Corrid, and he will basically just wish that they are with the Corrid now. It's much easier.
Go into the Korid's imagination.
He says, "Take us hence." He says, "Take us hence."
Okay. Brett, I'm sorry. You're there. Evan's there. Clarity is not there. He did not specify the horse.
Oh, he didn't.
Y'all are.
Can I still sense Clarity's presence? He's a part of my soul after all.
She really far away in Dublin, but yes.
Your soul is torn in two.
I'm sorry, Bria.
If a Dullahan could cry, they're just, yeah.
I'm sorry, Bria.
It looks. You swear that this head being carried underneath this woman's arm is crying, but no tears are falling.
Oh.
Are they near Ringa though? She is on that incredibly fast horse.
Yeah, no, they are like way behind you now.
Okay.
But you can just see them. They were there. They got there, and now you are way far ahead of them. They look kind of dizzy. They just kind of poofed it.
She just kind of shrugs. Not really knowing what happened.
just all the moving of lips and squinting of eyes that just cannot make a sound, cannot make tears.
And there's a big ass ship overhead.
Yeah.
Ringo, are you gonna try to stop the horse, or are you just going with it?
She's just going with it. She doesn't know like why they're there. Like
Clusterfuck 101. So yeah, no. Y'all get
Tim,
there.
I will extend. I will point my finger at him if he's still. Is he still in line of sight?
Barely, but yeah.
Stop.
does she
And
hear?
no, and dictum.
You're using that on the horse?
No, I'm using that on you.
I don't
My
know.
theory
If
is
she can...
that. No, actually, my command will be.
Come back
Yeah,
here.
it'll be stop the horse. So you'll attempt to do it anyway. He'll bite the inside of his lip so that there's blood coming out of out when he spits out the command. You know, kind of stop. For a bunk. What value bunk do you give me for that one, Kim?
Just shouting stop.
No, he bites the inside of his lip and he mixes the blood with his spit as he spits it as he says stop.
That'll be a point.
Okay. There we. Sorry, I need you to roll my pool for me. So that's going to be 4 plus 2. So that's going to be 6 dice, difficulty 7, and I'll spend a willpower.
6 dice, right?
Difficulty 7, yeah, and I'll spend the willpower.
You got lucky you spent that willpower, though.
Yeah.
Okay, Steven, you can roll willpower.
Okay, I'm gonna go roll willpower.
It is
Actually,
not, though.
they can't. After the Kithane is issued a simple, direct command, it must shock the target's conscience or result in immediate personal harm.
Okay. But this is also a player character.
Okay.
I only have 2d10 because she only has 2 willpower left.
You roll your full amount of willpower, not the pool that you have as points.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm tired. Okay.
Don't worry about it.
1 success.
It was willpower 9 or diff 9.
Oh, okay.
And you got a 1, so you botched.
Okay.
Ow.
What happens in the event of a botch?
Mind control?
No.
Absolute literal adherence to the command.
So she tries to stop the horse.
Yeah, you do. It doesn't have reins or a saddle, which kind of makes for a rather like you would expect it to be an unpleasant ride, considering it doesn't have a saddle, and even riding on a horse with a saddle can be really unpleasant for your butt. Especially considering it doesn't have fur, but it has scales instead. The ride is actually really smooth, and even though it's going so fast, it's rather comfortable. But it doesn't have any reins, so you grab its mane somehow. You grasp the mane and then realize, that's not black hair. That is shadows. So you grab its ears and tug on its ears while screaming, "Stop." And it does. It's not very pleased.
She jumps off the horse. She's still a ways away. She doesn't know why she stopped. And she just kind of looks around. And then she'll be like, oh, okay, I guess this is close enough. And she starts walking.
Oh, for God. He kind of looks at the Doulahan and he gives them a look of, is it really that stupid?
Doulahan is just on the ground crying.
Come on, we'll get you back
You
to your
see
horse.
the mist that typically flows evenly and calmly around her is roiling like a insipid miasma.
Okay, in my mind, the way I see it, she can barely see you guys. You guys are really far away. And all she heard was stop. She doesn't know why she heard someone say stop. Shrugging.
Sorry, you know what? He'll call out because at this point it's just getting silly. He will say, "What was your character's name again, Stephen?" My apologies. 1 second.
Ringa.
Ringa. He'll say, "Ringa, stop."
She'll
Yes,
just kind of glance over, like she's confused.
You see, does your character know what a she is?
Yeah, she definitely
Okay.
knows what a she is.
You see him walking down the path. Am I having to give the Doulahan a piggyback or some shit at this point?
She'll stand up and she'll start walking, but it's like you've never seen a woman this upset and pissed off before.
He'll kind of quirk an eyebrow and he'll say, "And what's the matter with you?"
Pulls out the phone, tap 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 tap. Play. You left my horse behind in Dublin.
Oh, sorry about that.
Tap 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 tap. We are going to have a talk about respecting other people's property.
He'll file that away. He'll file that away in his head as, "You think we're going to have that talk?" But he will walk up to the. How tall is Riga?
She is short as heck. She's like little Yoda.
Oh my god, Kim! Why is this game filled with adorable tiny people?
Because I'm not going to make your life pleasant.
But no, she
So
has
you're saying Huh?
gigantic feet, gigantic ears, and she's covered in fur.
He will say, "Where was the creature that was holding you?"
Creature? You mean the she? He's still in that grotto area, I think.
Can he remember that, Kim?
Hmm?
You said that he wouldn't be able to remember where the thing was. He just said where they were. I'm just wondering if that was a correct
Oh, he
statement.
wouldn't be able to come back and find it, how to get there. Like, if he tried to do it, it wouldn't be there.
But I remember about the place.
Oh, and Steven, I will point out, your Chord flaw makes you unable to tell a lie. That doesn't mean you can't be like the fairies in storybooks
Oh no, I
and
know.
double talk.
I just that's the reason why I wanted to play it, because it's going to be interesting.
He will calmly look down at you with those. For the record, even though his eyes are bright bloody red, but he has a calming presence. It's kind of like a snake. But he'll say, "Very good. I trust that they treated you well."
Oh yeah, he was very pleasant.
How wonderful. Wonderful. He will kneel down and he'll kind of get to the Corad's eye level as he says, "Now then, what did you tell them?"
I I didn't tell them anything. I don't know what you mean.
Did you make an agreement or a bargain with them?
Why would I do that?
Because you may have been fooled.
He seemed like a very sincere man. I don't know why he would do that.
Tap, 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 tap. Set to, he's actually swipe, play. It's going to give a recording of Evan's character giving the name of the Thelaine. Then tap, 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 tap. Was that his name?
I believe it could have been. She just kind of looks like she kind of rubs her forehead a little bit, like she's like lost in thought.
He'll say, you know that he's already responsible for one murder in Dublin.
Really? How do you know that he killed somebody?
Because his agent had confessed.
You sure that it was him? Because agent means that it could be anyone and they could be shifting the blame.
Tap, 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 tap. Play. Did he force you to make any contract or to make any kind of deal, bargain? Did he accept you as property? Anything?
He didn't force me to make any agreement.
But you made an agreement.
Why would I make an agreement with somebody I don't know? I don't know what you mean.
How much does this character weigh, Stephen, give or take?
She is light.
You're getting picked up by the shirt.
She's squealing.
Tap, 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 tap. Play. You do realize that he convinced one person to murder a very nice woman. He could force you to do the same thing.
He convinced somebody to murder somebody, but where's the proof? I want to know how you know this.
You filthy commoner, you will accept the word of your betters.
At that point, thoroughly pissed off, there is a scythe leveled to, it's not leveled at you, it's leveled horizontally, and it's just like, and there's just a look of anger.
It doesn't seem to faze him at all. It's like, people are leveling weapons at me. It must be Tuesday.
Okay, well, at this point, Ringa is going to roll Primal 4.
No, at this point you'll enter initiative, dear.
Okay. Well, there's still an action that I can do, so I'm doing that beforehand. Sorry, it's taking a little while.
Take your time.
Okay, what she will do for a bunk is she's biting her lip hard, where she
Do I see this altercation, or is it covered by treetops?
Huh?
I
Hello?
said, hello?
Oh, sorry.
Kind of
what?
distant. I was just asking if I can see this altercation happening, or if it's covered by treetops.
Oh no. You can. Oh, that was kind of okay. You can see the altercation happening from your ship. You're not that far away.
Okay, well she'll be Turning
I was wondering
cannons
why
in that
everything went
direction
quiet.
for when the Korid and Dulahan are away.
Mhm.
At a distance from Ishi.
You're watching them, right?
Yes, but we're also turning the cannons of the ship in that direction, aiming the ship in that direction, so that should the Korid and the Dulahan be separated by a fair enough distance, there may be cannon fire.
Excellent.
Okay.
Give me the war I crave. Sorry, what actually happened when I dropped out?
I'm still waiting on Steven to say what he's doing. So
Oh, did he also drop?
I don't know.
He's been silent for a while.
No, we can't
No,
hear
we
you.
can't.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Now we can hear you.
That was weird. Okay, I was kind of getting aggravated that people kept interrupting me. But what I was saying is, biting a chunk out of her lip of diff would she be getting now?
You
Diff
okay?
six.
You're literally biting a chunk out of your lip, right?
A chunk out of her lip. She is feeling threatened and scared.
Okay. Along with having a piece of your lip now in your mouth, that's going to be a lethal, and minus. Let's give it a -3.
-3. Okay. That would be diff. That'll be diff 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes on primal air. Eldritch form. So she becomes literal nothingness. And she starts flying toward the airship that's in the sky.
Okay. I know you're enchanted with air, and you do become invisible, and you can float through the air at walking speed. He's still got you in a grapple, though.
Okay.
Yeah, he still got you by probably the sweater.
Okay.
Or no, you're wearing robes. You're wearing his robes, right? Yeah.
Okay. This is going to
Unless
be
you
cut.
changed out of your clothes before leaving, or back into
No,
your.
she is going to slip out of the robes. She is naked, but you know.
Uh, uh. Okay. I'm not really sure what the role to stop that would be, considering you're invisible, so it's really hard to see anything. Uh. So, As soon as you slip out of the robes, they appear again. But so, Evan, you just have these very nice black silk robes in your hand.
You see him, he kind of snarls, I guess? Like in clear and utter unamusement.
Time to start floating up to the airship.
The scythe is going to vanish, and just Huffy, Blythe is going to start just walking back towards town, like very, very upset looking.
I'm not going to walk with Blythe. That's a bad statement. He'll follow, maybe, 10 paces or so behind him. Holding the robes.
Oh, at that point, Blythe is going to turn back to him, pull out her phone, tap, 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 tap. Like, those weren't the clothes she was wearing when we found her. You may have some inkling as to who she was with, and going to go back to keep walking.
He will kind of say something along the lines of, I didn't expect the Corridor to have such good sense of style. Kim, are these robes stylish?
They actually are. They're very beautiful and very well crafted.
Do they possess any symbols or symbology?
No, okay. It's a black silk robe with darker and lighter black silk embroidery, but the embroidery is simple stuff like there are stars woven between vines and things of that nature.
Oh, it's Corrid? Okay, sorry. I have been saying an N in it. There's no N.
Okay, so everyone's slowly walking back to town.
Yeah.
Was I able to make it onto her ship?
That depends on whether or not Natalie is flying away.
She was waiting to see how the situation resolved, and so if she ended up seeing something, oh wait, she's invisible, so she probably wouldn't have seen it.
Mm.
She probably would have waited to see if the cord showed up somewhere for a few.
Okay. Since it's only walking speed, you do manage to get there right before they probably take off.
Okay. She will actually go to the captain's chambers and find some clothes. Damn it.
By the way, Kim, I'm totally stealing that horse. Actually, I will make the attempt to mount the horse, I think, probably. When you're done with dealing with Steven.
Actually, like, as you guys were doing all your stuff, the horse had actually run off. Yeah, the horse is
Okay,
long
cool.
gone. They went back to Keldanoth.
And the horse is totally a Kelpie.
Why do I keep wanting to say Kel'Thuzad instead of Keldanoth?
Because it sounds like,
Yeah, I know.
from
Sounds
WoW.
like every World of Warcraft reference you can think of.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
know.
not. I'll be honest, I did get the name from World of Warcraft, Keldanoth, but let's not go there.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
I'm literally having to draw on Game of Thrones for plot right now. I'm kind of sitting there going, oh shit. Oh shit.
Yeah, it's... oh my god. I was like, oh no, this is not going to be hella political. Guess what the players did with her plot?
Politics.
Okay, so... at this point, it's really up to Azalea. If her quarters are able to get into, and if you're able to find clothes and stuffs accordingly.
Will she be able to find
It's-
clothes?
Yes, you can find clothes in there. You'll find that it's a very nicely decorated. It's a very piratey, well-to-do captain's quarters. The crew's quarters that you passed on the way to get there seem to actually be taken really well care of. Like, she takes care of her crew.
Okay. Ringa, probably wearing some really baggy clothes, does everything she can to fasten the clothes onto her. Will appear by Azalea.
She's standing at the wheel, steering the ship. I wondered if you'd appear up here.
I'm sorry I borrowed some clothes, but he was attacking me and I felt scared.
Oh, I don't blame you. Baylor's never to be trusted. Always twisting words, causing trouble.
Well, thank you.
Avoiding with Elaine. You're welcome. I was actually coming back to get you. But any way of getting back to my ship required some sacrifice in the immediate time.
It's fine. I'm used to it, she says, smiling sheepishly.
Come now. We'll get you back. Where can I take you?
And she'll tell you where her library is at.
Can you climb a rope ladder? Or shall I send a dinghy down with you?
I can climb down.
And Azalea will fly her back to her place. One thing you should do, though, call the Baroness and let her know that Mr. Shi trying to save you attacked you.
She'll nod. What's her name? I don't believe I've really introduced myself to the Baroness.
Baroness Ayala. She has a library, and she'll give directions to where it's at.
And mind telling me what the she was who attacked me? I don't think he told me his name.
Duke.
Prince.
Yep. I don't. What is his name? Thigwed.
Ashran Fellhart
Ashran.
at Baylor.
Ashran Fellhart.
Ashran Fellhart, Prince of Baylor.
By the way, as we're walking, Ashran has his hands behind his back, kind of like he's like, "For the record, Kim, let me know when we get cell service, because I'm totally going to do that thing and call a taxi." He'll look at the Doulahan and he'll say, "You know, based on that little sprite's evasiveness, she made a deal."
And she was probably threatened to keep it secret. Oh, sorry. Tap, play. And she was probably threatened to keep it secret, too.
More than likely. For the record, Brett, out of character, we get that you'll type everything. You don't have to keep saying it.
Sorry, it's just habit.
He'll
By the
shrug
way-
and he'll say,
By the way, Kim, is Clarity coming to get me?
Oh yeah. As you're typing all this out, you feel a lot happier, and you hear clump, 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 clump. Actually, it's more like clump, 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 because it's like a train just coming straight for you.
Mm-hmm.
And the news reports say there was this ghost bike that went across the road.
Actually, the sticker was still on it, so no one could see it. Ever see a motorcycle tackle someone? Yeah.
So I get So I feel a lot happier because I can feel clarity, and it's funny. Her name really makes sense now because she's freaking invisible.
Well, she's only
Ashrin will
invisible.
sigh as he continues to trudge on until he can eventually find cell reception and get a taxi.
I'm really tempted to say you're just hella unlucky and you don't get it till you're like right outside, but I'm not gonna do that.
Just remember he unleashed, so he has the weird cold.
Yep.
Too bad his weird
How
form
long does
doesn't have wings.
How long does that stay for? Out of curiosity, I don't actually remember.
Rest of the scene.
So Clarity shows up, big hug from the Dullahan, doesn't even care that she's flinging her head around the horse's neck by the hair.
Your horse is just it's as much love as an animal that can't give an actual hug is doing. Like it just keeps moving its head, wrapped like it can't really go between your neck and your shoulders. Like some animals do when, giving you a hug when they have no hands. Instead, it's just kind of like it's over where your neck and your head would be.
Right. So I'll finally just pet, and basically just thinking to Clarity, you are such a good horse. You are such a good horse. And he is such a dick. He's such a dick.
Can we run him over, please?
No, we're not allowed to commit cold-blooded murder.
But I missed you.
I missed you too. Oh no. So both Mount and Rider are going to start crying even though they can't cry. So, just tears of, oh my god, we're back together.
Somewhere off in the distance, you just hear pathetic.
And then Mr. Pathetic gets run over by a taxi.
Hooray! Come on, peasants!
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there.
No, it's being driven by the ogre.
Twitch.
I do good, Dookie.
I do good, Dookie. God damn it! Kim, I just say now, I wish to assemble a kind of menagerie of Thalane servants, each more incompetent than the last.
Okay. But no, like you get signal eventually.
We will call a taxi.
Alright, so gonna look to see that Duke's son is on the phone, or Prince, whatever the hell his name is, on the phone calling a taxi. So gonna mount up, going to wave goodbye, and then it's gonna take off at full speed. Because she missed the feeling of wind flowing through her hair that's underneath her arm.
Yeah, y'all take off and start heading back to Dublin. Eventually a taxi does come all the way out there. It's going to be an expensive taxi ride, but it makes it out there. And it just kind of parks in the middle of nowhere, and it's just kind of like, what are you doing all the way out here? And what's up with your ears? And your face, oh my god.
He will just literally throw like €100 at him and just say, "Don't ask, not in the mood."
Okay. Takes the money and drives you back to town. Like how you didn't even call you gassed or nothing, but you get back to town too.
It's after midnight here, so I really need to get going, so you guys can finish up. Bye-bye.
No problem. Oh, we were probably just about to end anyway.
Good night.
See you later, Kim. Or see you later, Brett, rather. My apologies.
Goodbye, Brett. So, everyone gets back to their respective homes. You, Evan, see the Ghast writing the note to your father as you walk in. The gas
He's
can.
probably covered in mud and gook. As he will very calmly walk into the room, take the pen from her hand, break the pen, throw it into the fire before face planting on the bed.
And you get all of your sheets dirty.
They're not my sheets.
They're the Duke's sheets. So the ogre will just kind of say, "Okay, boss."
Can he say things that are not okay, boss? Or is that his entire vocabulary?
He can say other things. He really just likes saying, "Okay, boss."
He will kind of, without looking up, he bites the pillow in kind of a temper tantrum moment until it tears and the fucking feathers go everywhere.
Hey, y'all's gonna be making him bite the pillow one day. But
No, he will sit up and he will say, "There is something rotten here. Something wrong. The commoners believe themselves to be people."
can we go home, boss?
Soon. He'll say, soon. Rather, we will come back here, and here will become like home.
Okay, boss.
Just kind of like, I don't know, he's going to throw him a chocolate. Just like, have a treat.
Thank you, boss.
That's all I got.
Boss
Be
is
happy
good, boss.
to see you back home, boss.
He completed like a really full, intelligent sentence.
He does that from time to time. I wouldn't be surprised if he was actually like Albert Einstein of ogres. He's just playing dumb.
I'm just saying, he might be, kind of like a Discworld troll, and the colder he gets, the smarter he gets. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. And so the Baroness doesn't really know how you got her number, but she doesn't reply to you anyway. It's more like that. I am too fucking busy right now cleaning up all y'all's messes and talking to your Duke, because now Kim's got to go behind and do that NPC talk shit, and then stuff will happen. But is there anything else that anyone needs or wants to do?
Is Dormouse okay?
Dormouse is fine. Just cold and really hungry and really pissed.
Oh god.
She probably has a little training dummy that she is just cutting up into bits with her sword, and just like it's bad.
She's leaving Dormouse alone. Probably like breaking off like some different types of cheeses and putting it on a plate ready to give to her.
Okay. Now what were you saying, Natalie?
I was saying she could have had cheese on the boat.
She's still upset, but full, and kind of happy she had cheese. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene in Darkness in Dublin.